Hi everyone. I hope yesterday you had a very nice time on the first day of our wildlife week. So today we are commencing our session with again two contests. First is poetry recitation and second one is an extempore competition. So just to tell you the rules about both the competitions. First, poetry recitation. I will tell the name of the person. You have to introduce yourself as well as tell your poem. Just switch on your mic as well as switch on your video. Rest all are requested to keep their video and mic off. So I think let's start. We can start with our poetry recitation competition. So the first person whom I will call, and this is all in random order, so I can call anyone. So you should all should be on your toes to with your poems. Okay, so I am calling the first person as Janvi Manish Pethe. Is Janvi there? Janvi will wait for like some few seconds, otherwise I will call another name. Okay, I think we can have another contestant here. Kiruthika T. Kiruthika T, are you there? Okay, I think we can wait for some more participants, or
I think you have started early according to Indian Standard Times.
yeah, but it was 2 p.m. So okay, anyway, I will, let's see, because we at present we don't have many registered participants. So if anyone wants to volunteer, you can just raise your hand. Don't switch on your video or audio. Okay, we have one person, Loka Priya S. I'll just wait. I think Lokapriya you have given for Hindi. I will just wait for someone who will go for English because we are starting from English. Yeah, Jikisha Rai. So I think I will invite Jikisha Rai to start this competition. So Jikisha, you can switch on your video and audio so the and recite the poem.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible. You can also switch on your video.
Uh, my video is on. Am I not visible?
No. Yeah, now you're visible.
Thank you. Hello everyone. My name is Jigisha Rai, and I'm going to be I'm going to be reciting a poem on global warming. It is titled Sun-Kissed Pollution." At the beginning of time, how beautiful was our earth. The warm sun kissing the soil to nature gave the birth. The oceans, the lakes, and the rivers with water so clean. The high mountains, the forests, the meadows very green. Colorful butterflies dancing and stopping on flowers. Thirsty plants waiting to receive refreshing rain showers. Natural selection decided which beings should live or die, respecting the order of creation beneath the great blue sky. For hundreds of years, each species there was a place. Birds, fish, insects, and animals, there was enough space. In this great enchanted garden, one day appeared man, first a hunter, then a farmer. Then changes began. Selfishness and greed, and the wanting of always more, ruining our environment, opening to destruction's door. It's like as if we are stabbing our own mother's heart. Our planet is bleeding pollution from every single part. Man set fires to the forests, creating black clouds of smoke. There's not enough air to breathe, and soon we will all choke. Be ashamed of your behavior. Stop it. Well, you're still time. Why don't you realize killing nature is a dreadful crime? I can't sit and watch, remaining still in guilty silence. I must find a way to rise against this deadly violence. My voice isn't enough. Join your voices in protest. Let's not lose another minute running out to fight without rest. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Jikisha, for this beautiful poem. Can you just introduce yourself, your school, and your city, as well as your grade?
Sure, I am in class 12 from City Montessori School in Lucknow.
Okay, thank you, Jikisha. So
Thank you.
now I will call another person. Uh, One Rekha Esparita is raising her hand, but I think Rekha, we don't have you as a registered participant in the list.
Excuse me, am I audible?
Yeah, who's this?
Actually, there's a problem. It is that I already have a MS Team account and so am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible. Just introduce yourself once your school and your grade and city, then you can
So
continue.
my name is Dhruti Rekha Parida. I am from Army Public School RK Puram. I study in standard 11th. So the topic I have chosen is wildlife crime should be stopped. The title of my poem is It's Not a No, and it goes like this. It all starts with a whisper. The sound is unheard, but not unknown that I hear. I have heard of your greatness, how you have built your concrete world with finesse. Nothing is impossible for you. Can you make some mere things possible without ado? I want to run freely over my forest floor. I get suffocated when you bolt the door. I want to drink water from the rivers that flow. I get scared at the things the little kids throw. I want to go out and hunt for my prey. I'm tired of soaking this finite area every day. I have listened to your age old tales of humanity. You rip away my family members. You think only you can be bereaved? Every single day you add poison to the air. You destroy my habitat. Is this how you care? I see how horrifying is your magnanimity. You might like your palatial cage. For us, a cage shall always be a cage. All of us have been working and thriving in unison. You yourself create a problem and look for a solution. Why should you be advised? For we are savages and you are civilized. Again, it starts with a whisper. The sound is often unheard, but never unknown that I hear. Let's join hands together to resolve it because I'm not apart from nature but a mere part of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Rekha, for that beautiful poem. Next participant, anyone volunteering who has registered for English poems only at present?
I volunteer.
Okay, please tell your name.
I'm Ananya Pillai.
Ananya Pillai from Bhavansar Sri Ramakrishna Vidyalaya.
Yes.
Yeah, just switch on your video, introduce yourself, and then you can continue.
Hi everybody. I'm Ananya Pillai, studying in class 11th. I'm from Bhavan Sri Ramakrishna Vidyalaya, Hyderabad. And the poem that I'm going to speak on is about animal cruelty, and the title is "The Cruelty is Too Much to Bear." I am regal, wild, and free, living in the evergreen trees, slowly taken away by these human hands to strange people and strange lands. My home burning in never ending fires to protect my brothers and sisters, a heartfelt desire. Now trapped inside this metallic cage, I stand helpless with eyes filled with rage. The sun shines bright, the sky is blue, so inviting and vast. But why don't they let me soar high away? Let me spread my wings and enjoy the air. I look out through these transparent walls, wondering when I will be out there. My spirit locked within this confinement, my heart yearning to be free. The view down here is quite different. Home to the mammoth of the sea, home to all creatures great and small. But now we come ashore perished. The land has taken away the ocean's purity, throwing the refuse into our homes. Biohazardous, non biohazardous, biodegradable, non biodegradable. Do you not see that we live here? Do you not see the thousands already gone? Please, we beg you, please. Stop before it's too late, before all is gone and lost. The nature provides us as much you. We all have a right to live in peace without fear, under the same night sky, smiling at the beautiful stars, with eyes free of tears. Please stop. Do see that we breathe the same air. Please stop. The cruelty is too much to bear. Thank you.
Thank you, Ananya. That was very poignant. It really took us inside the heart of the animals.
Thank you.
Yeah. So now, next, people raise your hands. Anyone for English poem recitation?
Can I, sir?
Yeah, please tell your name. Hello, someone asked, can I sir? And then, yeah, please tell your name. You are not properly audible.
So now?
Yeah, now you are audible. Please tell your name.
So can I start?
No, first tell your name.
Okay, so I'm Kavya AK of class 11, studying in Kendra Vidyalaya MATN Center.
Okay.
So the topic of my poem is global warming need to be stopped. So the poem goes like this. We could stop deforestation and plant new tree population. These trees will take the carbon dioxide from the air. All we need is a few people that care. The power plants need to go and use the wind that blows. Everyone could build a windmill tower and to produce more efficient tar. Our car emission is too high that more efficient car we need to buy. We can use corn fuel in our car so that our atmosphere remain cool. Global warming makes the glacier melt and coastal flooding will be felt. Let's keep the glacier made up of the ice and let's not take the chance of rolling the dice. And by doing this, we can see how beautiful our sky is. And would you rather have a beautiful sky and a beautiful sea or the smoke which make you wheeze? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ananya. That really showed us that what we are on the verge of losing. Thank you, Ananya, for that poem. Next.
Actually. Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you. Please tell your name.
So the next poem will be recited by me.
Okay, but I have to have your name.
Yes, I will just switch on my video.
Yeah, but please tell your name first.
My name is R. Harshita.
Okay, yeah. Please first introduce
And
yourself.
I am. Yes, my name is R. Harshita. I am 11th standard. I'm studying in 11th standard from KVMEG and Center. Hello.
Yeah, you are audible. You can continue. You can continue.
Yeah. Okay. Today I'm going to recite a poem. It is written by myself. So I am, and the topic of my poem is wildlife crime should be stopped. Here I start. Everyone loves nature, but how far is it true? The secret behind the beauty of nature is wildlife. Every nature on this world is beautiful in its own way. Their role in our life is of very great importance. Wildlife teaches us many things, different values from different animals. We get power, courage, sympathy, confidence, caring, anger, techniques, and love. Beautiful nature itself teaches us all these values. But knowing this importance of these values, for our own greed, we just destroy the nature and its beauty. We do not realize that by killing the beauty of the nature, we are just killing our own moral values and also the pride of the nation. Destroying the wild animals and forest are just like destroying ourselves. This huge loss made by us should be stopped because neither we can make dead alive nor bring extinct one. As the years passed by, because of our mistakes, many wild animals have been got extinct. Mistake is done once, but not always. Mistake is done by us should be stopped and should not be repeated. Just put full stop onto it because there is nothing after it. Thank you.
Thank you, Harshita. It was really, let's hope that people realize their mistakes after listening to this poem.
Yes, sir. And I would like to just add, sir, that this poem is written by myself, sir.
Yeah, sure, sure. So this poetry competition is about the poems which are self-written only. So
Okay,
yeah,
sir. Thank you, sir.
yeah, yeah. So next, who is volunteering?
So may I?
Yeah, please tell your name.
Myself, Ayush Kumar Jha, and I would be presenting a poem on the topic Wildlife Crime Should Be Stopped, titled Let's Roar With Me, authored by me. A gunshot rang throughout the sky, sending mothers and babies fleeing for their lives on the ground. That was once lush and green is now stained with red blood. The poor voiceless creature that was writhing in pain has become a joy for those monstrous poachers. And another shot rang once, but the creature lay still. Then the creature lay still. So it was thus ivory or fur what they wanted, but it was their greed that made them blindsided as they had no remorse. Little did they know that it was their own loss. A day will come when there will be no trees, animals, or birds. Each day I learn, see, or read about the wild who are in need. The the fur, the tusk, no calm, only the pain, the fear, and the unbelievable harm. So, oh, use your road as I have mine, and you too can help. It just take time. Thank you.
Thank you, Ayush, for that poem. Ayush, just to confirm, you are from DV Public School?
Yes, sir. I'm from DV Public School.
Okay, thank you. Next one. Anyone volunteering for recitation?
Sir, can I?
Yeah, please tell your name.
Yeah, I'm Srinayani. K. Srinayani.
J. Srinayani, please tell
K.
your K. Srinayani. Okay. Yeah, tell your school name and grade. Just introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, I am Srinayani from Bhavan Sri Ramakrishna Vidyalaya, Hyderabad. I'm studying in class 11. So today I will be reciting a poem on wildlife crime should be stopped.
Srinayani, you can switch on your video.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so this poem is about saving rhinos. There comes the armor-plated beast with its horn similar to turtle beaks. With a sense of smell well developed, it munches away at the tall grass reeds. Brawny and self-assured, some say they prefer staying alone. But little did it know that danger awaits. A tranquilizer's dart right into the rhino's frame left the odd-toed ungulate bleeding to death. And all this for its thickly mated hair. Breaking news is okay, but breaking horn isn't. Defend the wild, teach a child. Let them free, let them be, and let them survive. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Srinayani, for that wonderful poem on rhino, telling us that how breaking horns is not okay. Next, people raise your hands. Yeah. Yeah, you are not audible. You have to just adjust your mic somewhere.
So now, am I
Yeah,
audible?
yeah, you are audible. Please tell your name.
So I'm Vaishali.
Please, again, please tell your name. Full name.
Vaishali Vadde.
Okay, Vaishali. Okay, yeah. Yeah, you can continue. Just introduce yourself, switch on your video and audio.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Vaishali Vadde from Bhavan Sri Ramakrishna Vidyalaya, Sainikpuri, Hyderabad. I'm from class 11.
Vaishali, you can switch on the video.
Yes, sir. Now I'm going to share my experience when I visited the zoo, like seeing the animals, different wild animals. Entering that place gave me an immense pleasure, and I was filled with happiness beyond measure. To the left, there was a big banyan tree on which there were birds chirping that they were happily free. As I entered, I found the black striped tiger. As I observed, his eyes were filled with great vigor. As the giraffes were on a morning walk, the parrot, whose nose was like a cherry, repeated after me, telling that it could talk. As one of the peacocks started to dance, the other peacock was so lazy and gave me a little glance. Also, it was a pure bliss to watch the biggest snake hiss. Watching the largest reptiles quiver and made me realize that protecting it is my utmost duty. Everything on this earth was so spectacular that it did not need a binocular. There is everything on this Mother Earth that there are no reasons to complain about having any dirt. So let us all unite and rise, become protective and wise. Let us all protect the whole nature and thank her for the motherly nurture. Thank you.
Thank you, Vaishali, for taking us to a short trip to the zoo. That was really beautiful.
Thank you, sir.
Next, who is volunteering? Anyone for English poem?
Can we speak the extempore as well right now?
No. Extempore competition would be after this poetry. So not now. At present, just for poems. If you're registered for poems, please tell.
At this time, might be conducted.
Yeah. If you have any other doubts, you can type here. They would be addressed in the chat box. So I'm just calling for people. Yeah. Janvi, just wait. I think first I had called Sugandhini's name, so after that I can call your name. So yeah, Sugandhini, you can switch on the video and continue.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah.
Namaste everyone, this is P. Sugandhini Reddy from 12th grade, studying in Bhavan Sri Ramakrishna Vidyalaya, Hyderabad. I'm going to speak on the topic, my visit to the zoo. Blissful Sunday, fun day, arrived. All of us went for a drive. Early morning, we started packing lunch with lots of stuff to munch. As we entered the zoo, the cool breeze blew. Tortoise, the oldest member, 2 in number, welcomed us. Tall, gigantic giraffes, small, cute birds, monkeys hanging from trees, some scratching their knees. Crocs snapping jaws, screams of colorful macaws, hippos lying in the mud. See beautiful deers? You should. Striped zebras prancing, beautiful peacocks dancing. Elephant huge in size, elegant and wise. Flora and fauna full in spring, loud roaring of the jungle king. Magnificent cobra coiling, majestic tiger cubs rolling. Dark fuzzy-haired bear, housed nocturnal animals glare. Terrain of ostrich and emus, park of extinct dinos. Aquarium with fishes glittering, garden with butterflies fluttering. Rejoice seeing all creatures, capturing their amazing features. Long safari rides, though thrilling but spine chilling. Eco-friendly buggy rides, joyful train rides, fun and frolic with children yelling. Walking around, making memories, together burning calories, leaving nothing but footsteps, taking nothing but photographs, killing nothing but time. We left the peaceful surrounding thence, thanking God for His munificence. Surely we'll return another day to watch the baby animals play. Thank you.
Thank you, Sugandhini, for describing the experience of zoo in very beautiful words. Now, Janvi, I think I can call you. You can switch on your video.
Yes,
and
sir.
tell us.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
Myself Janvi Manish Pethe. Sir, can I start the poem?
Yeah, sure, you can start.
Rulers of the night, the wilderness is your home. Man in his ignorance won't leave you alone. Strong together, you hunt for survival. Man and his gun, your only rival. Mistress of the moon, shadows dancing on the northern skies. I hear your torment and mournful cries. Running, hunting, surviving, dying from frozen mountain tops. I hear your crying. Great warriors of the night, I wish you strength and stamina, courage in your plight. You are the heart of the wilderness. Cool air and the mountain snow, you are part of this land, but man is your foe. In the wilderness, be wise and cunning hunters. Forever be free. Let your howling join the earth. May you hunt with no fear. Let the mountains echo out the howl of the wolves that fills the mountain air. Thank you.
Thank you, Janvi. That was wonderful, very wonderful, telling us how humans have become enemy of nature.
Thank you, sir.
Next, anyone volunteering for English poetry recitation? I repeat.
Good afternoon, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible. Please tell your name.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Aditi. I'll be going to recite a poem on the theme global warming.
Wait, just a second, just a second. You have to please repeat your name. I didn't get your name.
Yes, sir. I'm myself, Aditi. I'm from APS Arkipuram. grade 10.
Okay, okay, yeah. Continue.
I'll be going to recite a poetry on the theme global warming. The name of my
Here,
poem is
here I am not able to understand his name. Kindly repeat.
It's
Aditi.
Aditi
The Tis Seval.
Sabri.
The family
Okay,
SCPS.
okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. The theme of my poetry is global warming, and its title is The Unsaid Words of the Unforgiving World. And here it goes. Winds burst, orange fire skirting, seeing the land fueled blazes in the dirt. There, in Arctic and Antarctic, lies a disintegrity that suffice the size of a small country. This is the era of inflicting floods and climate crashes, hand in hand with fatal diseases spreading among the masses. Laundering heat waves and fire, industries and pollution is what we still admire. There is something wrong, something alarming, grievously yet, it's global warming. Ozone layer depleting, greenhouse emissions repeating. The causes are weak, cautious, should be. Speed of nature can never compete with. Sea is rising faster than ever before, causing snow and ice to melt more and more. Human survival is now at stake, and people still not bothered and awake. Can't you decipher the singing of the nightingale? Yes, then why not begrudge at the sky against this warming? It's okay. It's okay to say you don't care, but what if, when the future generation comes to share and ask you if Florida was always underwater and without the very existence of polar bears? Ask you if the trees were ever green, was the river ever clean? Oh my God, those crisp white colored mountains looked so beautiful. They say, grazing at just the stream. And you will have nothing but sorrow, because you, Homo sapiens, failed to create a better tomorrow. But it's never too late. It's never too late to see this change occur. And it starts right now with you, me, him, and her. One might even ask, how can one supposed to make a difference? It won't even make a dent. That's perfect. It's true. Don't be independent, but it has to start with you. Now, I know this is a lot to ask and you don't want to take on this big task, but dear friends, it's just a small step. It's all it takes. And together, we can surely make this world a better place. Thank you.
Thank you, Aditi, for that passionate recitation telling us about our insensitivities pertaining to animals. Next, who is volunteering? People raise your hand. Anyone for English poetry recitation? Yeah, yes. Yeah, please switch on your audio and tell us your name.
Hello everyone, respected judges and my dear friends. This is Harni from Teja Vidyalaya. I am from 10th class. Today I am going to present a special poem on global warming should be stopped. The title of the poem is Wake Up, Wake Up, and let's begin with global warming isn't hard to explain. Global warming isn't hard to explain. It lives at crying with excruciating pain. It lives at crying with excruciating pain. This hurts our planet in every way. This hurts our planet in every way. Changes could leave us all in dismay. Changes could leave us all in dismay. We need to stop it now, avoiding temperature rise. People and other creatures would be in demise. Changes in temperature due to depleting ozone layer. We really don't need it so. Sure as your care. Mother Nature can't do it alone. So let's give her a rest. And we all need to try and do what is best. And we all need to try and do what is best. Our planet is precious and can't be replaced. Our planet is precious and can't be replaced. We need to act now or our home will be erased. We need to act now or our home will be erased. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Harini, for that giving words to Mother Nature. Next participant. People, raise your hands for English poetry recitation. Okay, this is the last call. If anyone is there for English poetry recitation, you can tell us now and recite the poem. Otherwise, we will go next to Hindi poems. Okay, I think we don't have any more participants for English poetry. So just before I start Hindi poetry, there is a link given on the chat box of Google Forms where you people should submit the poems, written poems, so that our judges can also read them and decide the winners. So now I think I can start.
I'm sorry, excuse me.
Yeah.
Could you please repeat that bit of information? I didn't quite catch you.
Okay, just if you see the chat box, you can see that there is a link given for forms. So you can just put your poem in that form so that our judges can also read your poem after recitation. So now that being clear, now I call for Hindi poetry. Participants of Hindi poetry, raise your hands. Yeah, Logopriya. You can switch on your video and tell us your.
Is my voice audible?
You are not clearly audible. I think you have to speak.
Is it audible now? Audible now?
Yeah, now it's audible. Just speak a bit loud.
Okay. So नमस्कार, मेरा नाम एक्सटेम्पोर है। मैं 10वीं की छात्री हूँ और मेरे स्कूल का है केंद्रीय विद्यालय IIT। मेरी विषय का नाम वन्य जीवन अपराध रुकना चाहिए और मेरी शीर्षक है जानवर भी प्रकृति का एक रूप है। जानवर भी प्रकृति का एक रूप है। और मैं एक सोच के साथ ये प्रस्तुत करना चाहती हूँ। ये दुनिया में कोई किसी का है, ये दुनिया में कोई किसी का है, ये तेरा सपना है, क्योंकि धोखा भी वही देता है जो तेरा अपना है। मैं जानवर के लिए पेड़ों की छाया में शुरू कर, पेड़ों की छाया में ही तो पंछियों का रहन बसता है। इनके होने से हम हैं और कहते हैं जीवन मेरा है। दूर से देखो जरा इन्हें, ये भी तो कुछ कहते हैं। फूल फल हवा सुगंध सब देते हैं, मीठे मीठे फल इनके बच्चों की कितनी बातें हैं। इनका ही तो रस लेकर बावरे मस्त मगन लाते हैं, मस्त मगन हो जाते हैं। पंथियां कभी ताजी हरी तो कभी सूखकर सुनहरी हो जाती है। इन्हें देखकर कोयल भी तो देखकर नगमों के से गाती है। देखने हर एक का दिल ऐसा खुश हो जाता है, जैसे शीत लहर का झोंका खुशियों के रंग लाता है। जैसे शीत रंग लहर का झोंका खुशियों के रंग लाता है। इनको कर को काट गिराया, कैसे मिलेगी तुमको छाया। दर्द इन्हें भी होता होगा, दर्द इन्हें भी होता होगा, चोट इन्हें भी लगती होगी। इनको जो काट गिराओगे तुम भी तो ना बच पाओगे। इनसे हम है, हमसे ही है, इनसे हम है, हमसे ही है, इनसे ही हम, इनसे है हम, इनसे ही है सांसें अपनी। इनके बिना ना जीवन अपना, इनके रक्षा काम है। हर एक जो पेड़ लगाएगा, हर एक जो पेड़ लगाएगा, हर एक जो पेड़ लगाएगा वो काम कर जाएगा। जो समझेगा दर्द इनके, जो समझेगा जो दर्द इनके, इंसान वही कहलाएगा। जानवर भी प्रकृति का एक रूप है और इनको संभालना हमारा स्वरूप है।
धन्यवाद लोकप्रिय इस भावनात्मक प्रस्तुति के लिए। अगला प्रतिभागी, नेक्स्ट पार्टिसिपेंट हिंदी में। हिंदी प्रतिभागी हाथ उठाए जल्दी से जल्दी। People for Hindi poetry recitation. Are we only going to have one participant? That's not fun.
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible. Tell us your name.
Sir, this is Garv for Hindi poem recitation, sir.
Okay, yeah, Garv, you can start.
The Garv from Kendra Vidyalaya, IIT Chennai.
हाँ करो.
Okay, sir. नमस्कार आदरणीय शिक्षकगण, निर्णायक मंडल और मेरे प्रिय साथियों, मैं गर्व सेठी केंद्र विद्यालय आईआईटी चेन्नई का छात्र आपके समक्ष वैश्विक तापमान रुकना चाहिए यानी ग्लोबल वार्मिंग शुड बी स्टॉप के विषय में अपनी कविता धरती बचाओ प्रस्तुत कर रहा हूं। कविता कुछ इस प्रकार है। कितनी नदियां को बांटा तूने, कितनी नदियों को बांटा तूने, कितने जंगलों को काटा तूने, कितने जंगलों को काटा तूने, कितनी दफा भेद डाला जमी का सीना और कितनी सरहदों से बांटा तूने। तू तरक्की की एक नई लहर हो गया है, इन फिजाओं का स्पर्श जहर हो गया है। कुल्फी वाले के पास वह बच्चे नहीं आते अब, शायद फिर कोई मैदान शहर हो गया है, शायद फिर कोई मैदान शहर हो गया है। और भंवरों ने फूलों को गुदगुदाना छोड़ दिया, भंवरों ने फूलों को गुदगुदाना छोड़ दिया, पंछियों ने बोर में चहचहाना छोड़ दिया। अब आग खुलती है हमारी सिर्फ धड़धड़ाती पटरियों से, हमें रोशनी ने जगाना छोड़ दिया। और तू इल्म का रखवाला है, तू इल्म का रखवाला है, तू सोच का उजाला है, तू तर्क है, तू ज्ञान भी है, तू गणित है, तू विज्ञान भी है। तू खुद से कितना दूर है लेकिन जो हकीकत से अनजान है। सूखे खेत खलियान है, भूखे सब किसान हैं, कभी उसके घर कभी चूल्हा जले, वो भी फकत का इंसान है। और सया हो गई यमुना हिंडन, सया हो गई यमुना हिंडन, सूखा हर तालाब है, तेरी बनाई दुनिया में अब सब बर्बाद है। और अब हकीकत बदल जाए तो अच्छा है, और अब हकीकत बदल जाए तो अच्छा है, तू अपनी बनी कैद से निकल आए तो अच्छा है। हे धरती तू आबाद थी आने से पहले, ए इंसान तू संभल जाए तो अच्छा है। इंसान तू अब तो संभल जा, नहीं तो खत्म हो जाएगा। धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद गुरु, आपके स्वर ने आपके भावों को बहुत ही अच्छे शब्द दिए। अब नेक्स्ट पार्टिसिपेंट और हिंदी पोएट्री रिसाइटेशन, अगला प्रतिभागी हाथ उठाए।
मैं प्रतिभा करना चाहूंगी
जी। आपका नाम?
खुशी अग्रवाल।
आप थोड़ी सी आवाज नहीं आ रही है, प्लीज इंक्रीज सम वॉल्यूम और समथिंग।
अभी ऑडिबल है?
हाँ बोलिए। प्लीज टेल योर नेम।
खुशी अग्रवाल।
खुशी अग्रवाल। हाँ खुशी बोलिए।
नमस्कार, मैं खुशी अग्रवाल कक्षा 11वीं केंद्रीय विद्यालय शिव गंगा से आप सभी के समक्ष विषय वन्य जीव अपराध रुकना चाहिए पर अपनी स्वरचित कविता लेके प्रस्तुत हुई हूँ। शीर्षक है ये दुनिया केवल तुम्हारी नहीं। अतः मैं अपनी कविता शुरू करना चाहूंगी। ये दुनिया केवल तुम्हारी नहीं, ये दुनिया केवल तुम्हारी नहीं, वो मूक जीव जंतु क्या दिखते हैं खुश कहीं। ये सितारों की दशा कहती है आशियाना है वो जंगल वहीं। ऐ इंसानों तुम्हें जीवन छीनने का हक नहीं, आखिर ये दुनिया केवल तुम्हारी नहीं। वो छोटे जानवरों की सिसकियां, उन आंखों की अनपढ़ मस्तियां, वो मोर पंखों की शोखियां, उन जंगलों की पहाड़ी वादियां खो गई हैं यूं ही कहीं। वो शिकारियों की गोलियां झूल रही हैं बस वहीं। ऐ इंसानों तुम्हें जीवन छीनने का हक नहीं, आखिर ये दुनिया केवल तुम्हारी नहीं। वो सिंह रानियों की हस्तियां, वो कस्तूरी हिरण की उमंग भरी कनखियां, वो तितलियों के लिए खिली फुलबारी कलियां, वो कस्तूरी हिरण की उमंग भरी कनखियां ढह गई हैं यूं ही कहीं। वो इंसानी रूपी मौत का मंजर खड़ा है जंगल में वहीं। है इंसानों, तुम्हें जीवन छीनने का हक नहीं। आखिर ये दुनिया केवल तुम्हारी नहीं, ये चिर उपवन तेरा भी घर है। जीवन तो प्यारा तुझे भी मगर है। वन्य जीव किसी की अमानत नहीं, उनकी खुद की भी एक डगर है। पृथ्वी कोई शमशान नहीं, जिंदगी देने की लहर है। ये दुनिया केवल तुम्हारी नहीं, वो मूक जीव जंतु क्या दिखते हैं खुश कहीं। ये सितारों की दशा कहती है, उनका आशियाना है वो जंगल वहीं। है इंसानों, तुम्हें जीवन छीनने का हक नहीं। आखिर आखिर ये दुनिया केवल तुम्हारी नहीं। धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद खुशी, ये बहुत ही सुंदर प्रस्तुति के लिए। अगला प्रतिभागी हिंदी कविता के लिए अगला आप उठाएं, प्लीज रेज योर हैंड। Anyone else for Hindi? So this is last time I am calling. If there is anyone else for Hindi poetry recitation, अगर हिंदी कविता के लिए कोई भी प्रतिभागी अभी भी मौजूद हो तो अपना हाथ उठा सकता है। So I think we can close poetry competition with these all participants. Thank you all Thank you all the participants for participating. I think we will start now with extempore in about 5 minutes. And I will come after 5 minutes to give you the rules of extempore and everything. And just to remind that all the poetry participants have to put their poems on the Google Forms link, which is given in the chat box.
Sir,
Yeah.
Hindi, it is not actually possible to write. It is actually.
I think you can write. You can use some website like Easy Hindi Typing or some website, and then you can write. Or you can just copy paste whatever is like maybe. Or you can email us. We will put an email ID.
Sir, better I'll email you, sir.
Okay. You can take a photograph and you can email us on the email ID given on the chat box.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't find the link.
Our link is there only, like in the chat box link is there. We have put the link.
Sir, it's showing this meeting chat is muted.
Yes, sir. Again, see, link has been posted again. See if you can find. Can you now see the link? And yeah, if anyone of you is having a problem with the link, so we will also mail you the link. So you can also just see the link on the mails. Yeah, so gear up all the participants of Extempore. So rules of Extempore are like, first we are going to show you a video pertaining to wildlife.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, can I start my Hindi poem? Actually, I have a network problem, so I joined late.
Okay, okay, yeah, we can have a last participant. What is your name?
Sir, my name is Shrishti.
Srishti. Okay, yeah, you can have your poem.
Hi everyone, I am Shrishti from I'm Public School Arkepuram. I am going to recite my Hindi poem, and the title of my poem is वन्य जीवन अपराध रुकना चाहिए। वन्य जीवों पर मुझे तरस बहुत आता है, देख इनकी दुर्दशा जी मेरा घबराता है। कुछ जीवों का तो अस्तित्व ही नहीं रहा, और जो बचे हैं शायद भविष्य में उनका भी अस्तित्व ना रहे। बचे हुए जीवों को हमें अस्तित्व में लाना है। इन जीवों का घर जंगलों में है, हमें इनका घर नष्ट होने से बचाना है। पेड़ पौधे पशु पक्षियों से धरती ये श्रृंगारी है, मत कर विनाश इनका ऐ बेखबर इंसान, नहीं तो बारी अब तुम्हारी है। माना कि कोरोना एक बीमारी है, यह तो कुदरत से खिलवाड़ करने की अब सजा तुम्हारी है। वन्य जीवों पर मुझे तरस बहुत आता है, देख दुर्दशा इनकी जी मेरा घबराता है। हमें इनका घर नष्ट होने से बचाना है, ताकि भविष्य में इन जानवरों की रक्षा हो सके और हमारा पर्यावरण स्वच्छ एवं साफ रहे। धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद इस बेहतरीन प्रस्तुति के लिए सृष्टि। So with this we are closing the poetry competition again. Now we will not entertain any more participants, and we can so rules of extempore I will enunciate before you. So before the extempore we are going to show you a movie upon wildlife. Just watch that movie, and upon that movie then you have to speak for about 3 minutes, for maximum 3 minutes. So I will again call the participants, because we can't have, I don't think volunteering would be good, so I will be calling participants here, or we will see how to just first see the movie and just churn out, brainstorm your thoughts about the movie and what the movie is about. Okay, and then you have to speak upon that movie. Yeah, so I think we can have a movie now.
For millions of years, this strange and secretive creature has roamed the earth. This ancient animal is so unique and unchanged that it is considered a living fossil. This is the Indian spotted chevrotain, also called the mouse deer. Mouse deer were once abundant in India, but habitat degradation and poaching have dramatically reduced their wild populations. But something happened at the Nehru Zoological Park in Hyderabad that changed everything. An inspired program was started to revive the population. A program that saw the mouse deer come back, returning to places where it had once gone extinct. Mouse deer are found in some of the evergreen and deciduous forests of India. They are a very important species for the well-being of an ecosystem. They help disperse seeds and form an important prey base for some of the large and small carnivores. But their status in the wild was precarious.
The Telangana State Forest Department has been entrusted by the Central Zoo Authority to take up one of the initiatives of captive breeding of those species which are dwindling in numbers in our own forest areas. One such project Telangana has taken up in the Hyderabad Zoo is the mouse deer captive breeding and as well as reintroduction into the wild.
The Nehru Zoological Park in Hyderabad is one of the premier zoos in India. Spread across 380 acres, it had the space and infrastructure to support a critical project like this one. With past experience in conservation breeding, the Nehru Zoo became the natural choice for the mouse deer captive breeding and reintroduction program.
Now, zoo has many objectives, and one of the objectives of the zoo is to kind of help protection of the genetic pool of a particular species, and if possible, to replenish it, reintroduce it in wild on a later date.
In 2010, the project began with a founding population of 6 individuals. With such a small number of founders, a scientifically developed breeding plan was of utmost importance. With the help of CSIR, Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology, a conservation breeding protocol was established.
At Lacan's, we have ability to genotype individuals, identify the founders, and tell them which are the founders which are the most variable genetically so that you can use them for the breeding program. And that has helped the population that has grown now in the zoo to be very heterogeneous.
During the course of the program, some interesting facts about mouse deer breeding came to light. Unlike most other mammals, mouse deer females come into estrus almost immediately after they give birth. This was a significant finding. This meant that the captive population could grow at a much faster rate. Instead of separating the males from the females at the time of giving birth, they were now left together, and this immediately showed results. From 6 individuals, the number rose to more than 300 within 9 years. With a rapidly growing population, the infrastructure and animal husbandry needs had to keep pace. The breeding center has grown from having 1 block with 8 pens to now having 3 blocks with more than 60 pens. Maintaining a healthy population of captive bred animals requires work around the clock. The enclosures are enriched to provide a suitable habitat for the mouse deer. Since they are shy animals, providing hiding places for them is critical. Fresh vegetation is added on a daily basis for the mouse deer to rest and feed. The team of animal keepers and biologists constantly monitor the enclosures. Hygiene is a very critical requirement for the maintenance of a disease-free environment. The enclosures are constantly cleaned and sterilized. Continuous monitoring and maintaining a hygienic environment have been key to the success of the breeding program. One of the initial challenges was understanding the food habits of the mouse deer. Very little was known about the dietary requirements of the Indian species. But some background research helped solve this problem.
Lot of inputs and lot of research had gone into the feeding pattern also. Over the years, we have tried to incorporate different varieties of feed and also different methods of feeding.
We give mouse deers fruits, vegetables, green grasses like lucerne and apples, bananas, sweet potato.
With a mix of fruits, vegetables and grains, the mouse deer receive a balanced diet. Sometimes the animals are also administered medicines and deworming tablets through their food. The animals are also monitored on a daily basis for their health status. Through fecal samples, the animals are constantly screened for diseases. With such high densities, disease can spread quickly. The animals are regularly vaccinated against contagious and infectious diseases. Injuries are common since these are highly territorial species, which leads to a lot of infighting. These are addressed immediately.
If any animal found sick, immediately we will take the help of a veterinary section. We will treat the animal immediately.
Every animal that resides in the breeding center is DNA fingerprinted. They are then radio tagged with microchips for accurate individual identification. This identification is critical for tracking the progress of the animals through their lifetime. The animals that are selected for the reintroduction program are about 6 months old. 8 animals, 2 males and 6 females, are chosen for every batch of reintroduction. These animals will leave the safety of the zoo to a new adventure in the wilderness.
Once the Nehru Zoological Park stabilized the population of the mouse deer, then we took up the exercise of releasing it into the wild. Since this was being done for the first time, we requested CCMB to develop a protocol for that. They developed a protocol based on a scientific approach, and very successful reintroduction of mouse deer was done into Ahmedabad Tiger Reserve.
The Ahmedabad Tiger Reserve is located 150 kilometers from the Nehru Zoological Park. It is one of the sites chosen for the reintroduction program. The Tiger Reserve is covered in deciduous forests, an ideal habitat for mouse deer.
About 30-40 years back, this area was having already mouse deer. So of late we are not finding in this place. So this is one of the perfect place as a habitat for mouse deer release.
The reintroduction process is strategically planned to help the animals transition from their life in captivity to an independent life in the wild. This is a gradual, stepwise process. For these young animals, this is the first experience of being out of cages and being surrounded by open wilderness. The soft release facility is divided into 3 zones, each one with different sets of parameters, but all designed to make the mouse deer less and less dependent on human support. Zone 1 is the stabilization zone. It mimics the conditions of the forest outside, but the mouse deer will be provided with food, like in the zoo, but also supplemented with wild species. They are also given water in a bowl, just like in the zoo. The deer also have the luxury of an artificial shelter. With the comfort of some zoo-like facilities, the animals are given 14 days to settle down. This makes their transition from the protected zoo conditions easier. After this period, the animals are transferred to the second zone. This is the acclimatization zone. Here, some of the support is withdrawn. They will be provided a little food, but the deer will have to learn to forage for themselves. Water is dispensed through sprinklers. These will create puddles that the mouse deer will have to find and drink from. In this zone, there is minimal human contact. However, the animals are monitored discreetly to check on their performance. The final zone is the pre-release zone. This is almost like the wild conditions outside, other than the fact that they are still within the safety of the fenced area. There is absolutely no support in terms of food and water. But this zone is connected to the outside. The animals are forced to move out and fend for themselves. These are the final steps to complete independence. Indirect methods of monitoring are used to assess their performance outside the soft release facility. Fecal samples are collected to check for signs of disease or parasite infestation. Camera traps are set in different areas of the park to monitor the performance of the animals that move out. The moment of truth of this great effort comes when a mouse deer leaves the safety of these human facilities and moves into the wild, and be at home in the vast wilderness of the park.
Once we were satisfied that this reintroduction is successful, then we thought we should move to other geographical area, and then we selected Kinnasani Wildlife Sanctuary. There also we have successfully reintroduced this mouse deer, and now we are going to release that in the Pocharam Sanctuary also, so that we will have experience and we can compare the success of the reintroduction in the various parts of Telangana.
Since its inception in 2010, the mouse deer reintroduction program has come a long way. From 6 individuals, it has come up to more than 300 individuals now. More than 140 mouse deer have been released into the wild in 3 different sites. Subsequent to the release, there is evidence of mouse deer breeding in Ahmedabad Tiger Reserve. A fawn has also been observed in the Kinnarasani Wildlife Sanctuary. These are positive signs that the mouse deer are establishing themselves as a breeding population in the reintroduced sites.
With the success of mouse deer breeding in captivity in Nehru Zoological Park, with our team of animal keepers, then our feed store in charge, our biologist, our efficient veterinary team, we are now thinking that we can handle the conservation breeding of other endangered species also.
This is an amazing story of how a well-planned and scientifically managed reintroduction program can help bring back wild populations. These are still early days in the project, but to see a mouse deer that is born in captivity roaming the wild is a message of hope for all of our wilderness.
Yeah, I hope everyone has enjoyed the movie. So now we will
Yes.
give yes. Achha, yeah, just type yes sir, don't speak yes. Even if you are not enjoyed, don't speak. So yeah, so everyone, so this movie will form the basis of our extempore competition. So rules are like this. You will be given now about 10 minutes. So just start counting 10 minutes to brainstorm your thoughts and come to a conclusion about captive breeding, about release of wild animals in jungles, in forests, and whatever you saw in a movie. So in 10 minutes, we will also send you a Google link form. You have to put your points, whatever you are thinking on that form, and submit the form. According to the submissions of Google Forms, you would be calling one by one in just a random order, and then you have to speak whatever you have thought about the movie, whatever you have thought about the subject we were discussing here. So in
Excuse
like
me, sir.
Sunny
Am
was
I
saying,
audible?
yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, is it necessary that we put all our points into the topic, or is it just we can just put it in the brief in the forms?
No, whatever points you have thought, you can put that in Google Forms, and then you can elaborate your points in your speech in this MS Teams. So you will be given 3 minutes time to speak. So just put some. We will be providing you link in 2-3 minutes in this chat box. So just whatever you can start typing in your Word or whatever software you are using, and this then just copy paste on the Google Forms and submit it, so that we will have a finally count that how many people are participating in this.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So this is at present in my watch. It is 3:10. So just you'll be given time till 3:20 minutes. So your 10 minutes starts now. In 2-3 minutes, we will give you the form link.
Sir, even this one I'm doing it in Hindi, so can I just mail it?
Yeah, you can mail it. Not an issue.
Yeah, okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah. So as you can see, link has been given, and people who want to mail can mail. And only people who have submitted the forms would be called for extempore. So please submit form. You have 10 minutes.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Actually, I'm not really attending this from my laptop. I'm taking part in this event from my phone. So how can I type down my
I
entire poem
think
or
you
my
can
entire?
you can try take a photo and then just mail it.
No, the mail.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, sure. Thank you.
Yep.
I'm sorry, we had to mail it to the same email address that we received the link from, right?
Yeah, same email address. Just tell your name. What's your name?
I'm Ananya.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, so here is again this email link. Email is there, so you can send on that.
Excuse me, sir. I am also using phone, so should I mail it?
Yeah, people using phone can do similar thing. Just write your thoughts, take a photo and mail.
Excuse me, sir. Hello.
Yeah, yeah. Tell.
Sir, should we type out our whole content or should we just write points?
No, you have to just write points. We are not expecting to write whole content. Yeah, then you can elaborate your points in the exam.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So people, 10 minutes are over. Just I will give you 1 minute more to just submit everything.
Sir, like I have a class now. Can I just speak and leave?
Just a second. What are you saying? Please repeat. Yeah, so we are closing submissions now. Hope you all have submitted in Google Forms. We will just in 2 minutes sort out the forms and then we will start calling names one by one.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Actually, I have typed the contents in extempore, but in the Google form, it is compulsory to type the poem. So it will take time to type the poem. And
what is compulsory in Google Form?
Can I send it to your email?
Yeah, you can email.
Okay.
Are we supposed to inform you after we've mailed it?
No, you don't have to inform. We are checking the mails.
Okay.
Yeah, so people, we are just checking your mails and your Google Form submissions. So just wait for 2 minutes. We'll get back. So yeah, people, we are back. So I will just call names and then you can start. Just remember that maximum time given is 3 minutes. So you can again switch on your audio and video and speak about it. So I will call Harini Kunduru. Harini, are you there? Harini? Harini Kunduru, you are visible on MS Teams. Are you able to hear me? Okay, suddenly like Harini is telling that she is in a class. So I think then we can start with Ananya Pillai. Ananya Pillai, are you ready to?
Sir, I am having a
Actually, I'd like
class,
a
so
few.
can I just speak in?
Who's this?
This is Garv, sir.
Okay, but yours in Hindi now.
Yeah, sir. Can I just? Because I have my maths class at 3:30.
So okay, then we will start with Hindi because there is, I called few names in English but none is there. So
Thank you very much. Sir, I'll
yeah.
start.
Yeah, you can start.
नमस्कार, मैं गर्व सिटी 11वीं से का छात्र।
गर्व 2 मिनट भाई, पहले वीडियो चालू कर दो यार, वीडियो चालू कर दो। गर्व सिटी।
मैं 11वीं से का छात्र केंद्र विद्यालय आईआईटी चेन्नई से इस कार्यक्रम में प्रकट कर रहा हूँ। नेहरू चिड़ियाघर और तेलंगाना राज्य जूलॉजिकल प्राणी उद्यान ने तेलंगाना के पतझड़ी वन में एक बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण कार्यक्रम शुरू, जिसमें वह एक प्राणी चूहा यानी माउस जो कि एक जानवर है, इसकी संख्या हमारे देश में बहुत ही कम है, यानी ब्रीड करने का कार्य, ताकि वह इस जानवर को हमारे देश में रख पाए। इसमें तेलंगाना जूलॉजिकल पार्क ने इसमें CSIR और CCMB की मदद से चूहा हिरण को लिया, जिसमें से दो मेल से और 4 फीमेल्स इन पतझड़ी इलाकों में लेकर गए और इन लोगों को उस कंडीशंस में रखा जो जंगल की मुश्किल स्थिति है उसमें रखा। इन लोगों को और घास दी गई खाने के लिए, उनको अच्छी तरह रखा गया और उनको जंगल में वह जैसे रहते हैं उसमें रहने की को सिखाया और उन्हें फिर पोचारम और किन्नर गजा वाइल्ड लाइफ में छोड़ दिया गया। धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद करो। बड़ा ही जैसे पहले की तरह कविता की तरह बड़ा ही जोशीला आपका संबोधन था। तो अगली प्रतिभागी में बुलाना चाहूंगा दिव्याश्री बेहड़ा। दिव्याश्री।
Excuse me, sir.
जी।
Sir, actually, I'm doing English extempore.
Okay, but we have got registration in Hindi. Did you do
Sir,
some mistake in form?
I think so, sir.
Okay, it's okay.
So actually, I prepared and mailed you for the English also.
Okay, it's okay. So
I'll be doing the English ones.
Okay, yeah, it's okay.
Sorry for the inconvenience.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, sir.
So we haven't got any more, and our Lokapriya has sent, though she is not registered. So Lokapriya, if you want to speak.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we have not entry for registration of extempore, but if you have submitted.
Sir, I have registered.
Okay, don't have any, but it's okay. You can go ahead. आप बोल सकते हो. अपना वीडियो और ऑडियो ऑन करके.
Wow. I like it, sir. So it's like for me, it's really bad, very good. After seeing this movie, I felt like it's very good for captivating the reading of the most people.
आपका हिंदी में था कि इंग्लिश में बोलना चाहिए? आपका कविता हिंदी में थी, तो ये आपका हिंदी है इंग्लिश में?
English. I registered for English next.
अच्छा, आपका नाम में हिंदी में है, इंग्लिश में है. अच्छा, ठीक है, you can continue. Lopriya, you can continue.
Yes, sir. So it is like for me, it's
Lopriya, we are not able to hear you. I think you are muted or something. Lopriya, sorry, but we are not able to hear you. Lopriya, are you able to hear me?
yes, sir.
But we are not able to hear you. You have to adjust your mic.
Sir, is it audible?
Yeah, now speak something. So.
Sir, is it audible?
Yeah.
Is it audible now?
Yeah, it is audible.
Yeah, so the captivating of reading the mouse here was really very nice because now the ecosystem preys on all the things, which even the small things. So this captivating of this breeding is really very good, where the scientists are taking so care of the minute things, the extinction of the things that one endangered species. The ecosystem preys on only the important things, like very small minute things takes up the ecosystem, which is very important. The whole world is revolving around these few things, which is very important. So for me, the movie was very more interesting about the wildlife species. The wildlife was very creating a very good impact on youngsters, and I felt like the students who have already had some idea about wildlife would have made it so engaging for them. And other things like it was a very scientific thing which made us learn more about science. And wildlife thing is like you can just explore, have adventure about this. The mount.
Lopriya, we are again losing you. You are again muted, and now you are unmuted. Lopriya, are you still continuing, or you are done? Lopriya, you are not audible. No, Lopriya, you are constantly not audible. So I think it is some network issue. So do you want to speak more? Continue, or we can go to next participant. So I think we will okay, then she has some network issues, so we will proceed towards our next participant. is Ananya Pillai. Ananya Pillai, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, Ananya, you can start.
Do I need to switch on my video also?
Yeah, preferably.
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, you are audible.
So the video that we saw was technically about how the Nehru Zoological Park of Hyderabad had taken many initiatives to revive and replenish the genetic pool of the mouse deers. And because these mouse deers are such ancient creatures, the extinction wouldn't be very, good to the ecosystem also. And as we saw in the video, they are primarily the prey base for the carnivorous animals also. So there were many steps taken by the zoological park, and what I found most intriguing about the video was the fact of how the zoological park made sure, the authorities of the zoological park made sure that the animals weren't just left off into the wild to fend for themselves. They made sure that they got slowly accustomed and they were taken step by step to their habitat, like baby steps. Like one step they're showing how to get their food and get their water, and the next step they're putting on the sprinklers and trying to make them know that you're supposed to drink water from the puddles in the wildlife. And when the last stage came that the animals were ready to leave to the wildlife, that was a very good point to be shown actually. And it is very nice to see that there have been made so many efforts because of the present the ecological condition of the world, where it's not just animals like the mouse deer that we're losing. There are so many animals that are going extinct, like we have the red panda, we have the Arctic polar bears. All of these are going because of many common reasons like pollution and global warming being most of them. And so it was really good to see that people are trying. It is good to see the efforts put in by the government, by the people, to show the world that animals deserve as much as we do. Animals also need to be there because we need a balance in the world, a proper balance of animals, wildlife, flora, fauna, and human beings. And it was very good to see that when there were only the first facultative, the founder stocks of the animals that they had put in, which had only 2 males and 4 females, getting up to 300 and more in just 9 years was a very good increase. So in the end, I'd like to conclude by saying that all the animals, it's not just one that's going crazy. It's not just for the mouse deers we have to take. There have to be certain steps that have to be taken for all kinds of animals coming in the near future or who are already endangered. So it starts by our choices and the steps that people want to do. And technically, if we have a will, there's a way. Thank you.
Thank you, Ananya. That really tersely summarized our movie. So now I will call Suganandini.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Can I start?
Yeah, sure, you can start.
Okay, so in the video I saw that the combined effort of the Telangana Forest Department, Nehru Zoological Park and CSIF CCMB led to the captivity and reintroduction of mouse deers, which has been successful. In the first stage, the Nehru Zoological Park was selected because the conditions were suitable for their growth and the breeding process. So first, 6 mouse deers were selected, and they were initially kept in a room, and constantly their eating habits were checked, and first a mixture of fruits and vegetables was given, and deworming was done, and with the help of CSIR and CCMB, vaccination was done, and their health was constantly monitored, and this has led to an increase from 6 to 300, which is definitely appreciable. Then they were taken to the Amrabad forest area, where it was divided into three zones. In the first zone, everything, food and water, everything was provided, but just that it is an open area and not like the closed room in the Nehru Zoological Park. Then in the second zone, limited food was provided, and water sprinklers were there. And then in the third zone, nothing was provided. They had to procure everything by themselves, but constant monitoring was done through CC cameras and other things. So I feel that this initiative taken by this combined initiative helped to in the revival of one endangered species, and which will help to maintain the ecological balance, and taking more steps and towards the revival of other endangered animals as well, will see to it that not only humans but the world belongs to animals as well. So we have to take steps to we have to take steps for the revival of other creatures as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Subhanandini. It was really appreciable that you emphasized on the steps of reintroduction. Now our next participant would be Pankhodi Tripathi. Pankhodi Tripathi, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you are faintly audible. I think you have to adjust your mic or something.
Just a second, so give me a minute.
Yeah.
Sir, am I audible now clearly?
Yeah, you are audible. Just you are from which school, Pankhodi?
Sir, I'm from Bharatiya Vidya Bhavans.
Okay, okay. Yeah, you can continue. Just switch on your video and then you can continue.
Yes, sir, just a second. So is my video visible to you?
Not yet.
Now, sir?
Yeah, now it's visible. Now you can continue.
Okay. So first of all, thank you, sir, for giving me the opportunity to speak. Hello, everyone. I am Pankhodi Tripathi from Bharatiya Vidya Bhavans Public School, Jubilee Hills, and I am very happy to speak on wildlife. And the movie that I was told and I saw was about mouse deers, and a very wonderful species. I mean, they were just so beautiful. And I got to know a lot about a mouse deer. So basically, what I understood was that mouse deer is a very rare animal, also known as the chevrons. They were once abundant in India and Nepal, but we have seen the endangered species go near to extinction and the decline in their numbers. These nocturnal animals were most commonly found in rainforests of India, but now are getting endangered. But because we always blame government officials and government that it's because of them that we are unable to. Uh, 1 second.
We lost your video.
So is my voice audible now?
Yeah, your voice is audible, but we have lost in your video.
Sorry, sir. I believe there's a network issue. I don't know how should I. So is my video audible?
Now. Yeah, now it is.
we often blame the government officials for not doing their right work, or because of global warming and declining number of species. But it's somewhere that we are also to be blamed. And I was very happy that CSIR, CCMB, and Nehru Zoological Park came together to conserve a species which is being declining. And we got to know about it, but the next generations would never come to know about if we could never conserve them. And the steps that were taken by the doctors, and especially seeing the doctors treating those little animals, was like a very heart touching scene for me. And the three zones that were particularly designed and perfectly made for the mouse deers to know the forest conditions before they go out was something that, just was perfectly done. And from the number 3 to 300 was something nobody could imagine. And these are small little things that we need to keep doing so that we save the animals today and we never lose them. Because if the world is ours, the world is also theirs, and we have to save our planet for the future generations so that they can also see these amazing, wonderful, beautiful species. And I think uh, the minute details, the diet and the health, how they have to be managed, where they have to be kept, what all measures are to be taken, were taken absolutely perfectly. And this is how we all need to learn a sort of planning. And this is a perfect example of human and animal friendship that we can see. Thank you.
Thank you, Pankuri. It was really visible that you are very heartfelt about mouse deer. Now I call upon Aranya S. Girish. Aranya? Aranya S. Girish, are you there?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sir, I actually have a problem with my webcam, so I won't be able to turn my video on.
Okay, it's okay. You can continue with
Sorry
your
for that.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, should I go ahead, sir?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay, hello everybody. It's almost good evening. So yeah, good evening. I am Aranya S. Girish from Excel Public School. I'm studying in 11th grade from Mysore. Okay, so all of us just saw a documentary on how the Telangana Zoo had successfully reintroduced almost extinct mouse deers into its wildlife, which is an extremely wonderful development. So the first thing we need to know is why we try captive breeding and reintroduction of wildlife. This happens only when a particular species is on the risk of extinction, and it's not like people don't promote it for already sustainable animals. Also, when we are talking about captive breeding, many critics and people always have a certain doubts uh, about interbreeding. Captive breeding is an extremely systematic and scientific approach only meant for reintroducing almost extinct animals into the wildlife. And when we are talking about scientific approach, we have well-trained scientists who do not allow the interbreeding of animals, and thus there won't be the same gene diversity. Usually people have this question that when animals are breeded together, that the gene diversity comes down. But I think since our scientists are extremely they approach it in an extremely scientific manner. The thought of interbreeding is restricted, and there will be some amount of gene diversity between the animals. Also, talking about uh, a few more queries is a custom of the animals to prey and predators. When a herbivore is actually reintroduced into a wildlife, it is always reintroduced in groups, and it is not reintroduced singly, because herbivores are always in groups. And as shown in the video, they are extremely scientifically reintroduced from phases and are not reintroduced directly. Uh, Talking about quoting an example, the Indian government and also the Central Zoo Authority is finally giving roadway to reintroduction of the Asiatic lions from the Gir forest to the Kuno Wildlife Sanctuary in Madhya Pradesh. So apart from Gir, the Asiatic lions will also have another home in India itself. And I think that this concept of reintroduction of almost extinct species is an extremely important concept because we are here trying to protect the species and give them a new reason for living, providing them another opportunity to live rather than just go extinct. We can't lose species in the wild just because of the careless attitude of humans. We also need to change our approach to wildlife. People might say that, if animals are getting extinct, we always have this option of reintroducing them. But why do we need to come to that crucial moment of reintroducing them? Can't we as humans, the so-called most intelligent beings on earth, be a little more attentive towards animals and think that they also have this right to live on the planet, and we need to equally share this planet just along with them. It's not only ours, and we are not the only people living on this planet. We need to be a little more considerate. People refer that there are a few enthusiasts, there are a few animal lovers. Why can't this few be converted into the all? All of us should, we need to start respecting animals. That's the first important thing we learn from this, because we don't think that animals are at par. We consider ourselves to be extremely supreme, which is probably the most wrong we have done. We are not supreme. Nature is the most supreme thing. So, in order to conserve nature's supremacy, humans need to get down one step and start respecting creatures and start being humble towards everybody. Also, I would like to just share one point. I don't know how many of you have heard of this, but then there is this one bird known as the great Indian bustard in Rajasthan and the deserts of Gujarat. This bustard is endemic to India and it's only 300 in numbers now. And this is also on the verge of extinction due to high loss of habitat. And I think it should be our duty and probably our next step, and we should start, you know, instead of making it extinct, we need to start conserving it. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, Aranya, thank you that you said about Great Indian Bustard as well as Kunola Wildlife Sanctuary. Thanks for that. That was interesting. Now I call Divyashri. Divyashri.
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm
Divyashri,
Divyashri,
if it is
studying in class 11.
possible for you to, you can switch on the video.
Sir, actually, the network in my area is very poor.
Okay, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, sir. So, can continue?
Yeah, you can continue.
From Army Public School, Puram, Hyderabad, Secunderabad. I'll be sharing my views on the movie that I saw just right now, restoring the captivity of the mouse deers. So here I start. Today, this world is not like the one we had million years ago, when the animals were smiling with relief and the trees were flourishing. At present, we had just destroyed everything. Because of our carelessness, we are losing the integral part of the nature. But we can restore this, just like as did by CCMB. CCMB, with the support of whole corporation of the Telangana Central Forest Department, took up the project of restoring the captivity of the mouse deers. The mouse deers are a very integral part of the nature. They are the primary base to the small carnivores, and we saw that its population was at the verge of extinction. So we would have just lose them, but because only of CCMB, and we could proudly, but we now we could proudly smile with the to the amazing population of the mouse deers. The project just started with 6 individuals, but as the time rolled by, became 300, which is an astonishing count. With the help of science and technology in their hands, they could restore the captivity. It was all because of the Nehru Zoological Park, Hyderabad, with a wide area structure of 388 acres. It could give the mouse deers the feel of the nature. Through this, they could keep a watch on the mouse deers and their adaptations to the environment. Their main contribution to restore the captivity was providing them with good food like the sweet potato, the apples, the bananas, as we all heard, which was very nutritious. And the other contribution was helping them with reproduction, as by giving them as in one batch consisting of 2 males and 6 females, and the results were astonishing. They also taught them how to drink water from the puddles and allowed them to go into the wild and feel the nature. Mouse deers are very shy animals, which are very sensitive to them, which are very sensitive, and the members of the CCMB of this project had to take care of this too. They had to give them proper hygiene so that they could restore the captivity well. They did so by giving fresh vegetation for survival. This astonishing step of CCMB and the Nehru Zoological Park towards the nature, towards our mother nature, really proved that the human beings are really back to the track, really back to the track, uh, for helping the nature, for the future generation. So I wish that we too would join this astonishing institute and help every endangered species to restore the captivity and the love, and the love and the respect to the animal, and giving every animal the right to live. We have to do so. Thank you.
Thank you, Divyashri. That was so very passionate. Now I will call Pooja Kadri. Are you there, Pooja?
Yes, sir. 1 second. Just a second.
Yeah.
Am I audible and visible?
You are audible
Yes,
but
sir.
not visible.
Now?
Yeah, now it's okay. You can start.
Life is so ironic. It takes sadness to know happiness, noise to appreciate silence, and absence to value presence. Greetings to one and all present here. This is Pooja Kadari of class 11 from Bhavan Sri Ramakrishna Vidyalaya, here to speak my opinion on today's topic. The reducing roars of the wild is a testimony of the inhuman brutality of us humans. I now know why. It's better to be wild than uncivilized. Initially, when all the species were created, it was expected by us to live in harmony. But what did we do? Well, nothing, except for behaving selfishly. How is it that we, the Homo sapiens, became the dominators of the world, resulting in the extinction of so many wonderful yet beautiful creatures, all due to our selfishness? After watching this video, I realized that it's better late than never. Let's take blame for our actions and take precautions to conserve the beauty which we call wildlife. Because I'm sure none of us would be happy to imagine a situation where our grandchildren would be able to see the animals such as lions, tigers, or elephants in all their glory in nothing except for picture books. Let's address the issue of wildlife conservation as soon as we can. But how can we do that? Well, I would like to take pleasure of stating some facts of wildlife conservation from my point of view. Number one, practicing the concept of reduce, reuse, and recycle in order to protect the wildlife habitat. Number two, adopting a plant-based diet in order to avoid the hunting of animals for eating purposes, using photos to cherish the flora and fauna rather than admiring them by adorning them in the form of our jewelry or handbags, writing to our political leaders to let them know that we are in need for conservation laws, keeping in mind that all the creatures are deserving of a life free from fear and pain. We need to ensure that there's an increase in the rate of wildlife sanctuaries and parks rather than zoos, which are there only for our entertainment purposes. Well, those were some of the suggestions which I could think of when I speak. All I want from you is to take initiative and help conserve our planet and save it from the path of destruction. In the end, I would like to conclude by quoting this beautiful piece of poetry whose copyright I definitely don't own. But this might inspire you to take part in the making of a better society, or I can say in the making of a better world, which will help us to live in harmony with the flora and fauna. And along with keeping in mind that united we stand, divided we fall. Let there be color, let there be green, let there be smiles that last longer. Let there be praise for the nature and love for the wild. Let the trees stand tall and let there be vision. Thank you.
Thank you, Pooja. Now is Harini there? Harini? I think you are logged in, but no response. So we have got Google form from Harini, but she is not responding to her call.
Yes, sir, I'm there.
Okay, now finally. So I think Harini, you can speak.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wildlife is a priceless treasure. Save it with pleasure. As we all know, animals are our closest relatives. Their balance is this pretty long food chain. So they are allies, which makes our earth balanced. We have different types of wildlife. We should preserve them because they are treasure. At present, these different creatures are gone extinct due to many activities of human like hunting. Of course, deforestation makes the creatures lose their home. And we should stop hunting because after they disappear, will you then shed tear? No. So, honestly speaking, abusers, animal abusers are the losers. Preventing all these human activities, our forest department really doing a great thing that they are protecting these special creatures by their scientific methods. These special creatures, so 1 minute. These special creatures and our authorities make increasing their number, and also they are trying to their best to make our state rich in forests and in wildlife. Like this, many people are fighting for the animals' rights. And in this video, this zoological park made creatures survive by specializing their habitats step by step. It's actually a big thing. And this small step towards wildlife conservation has increased many species. Wildlife is Mother Nature's greatest treasure. To protect it, we must take every measure. And these mouse deers are very rare species. This endangered mouse deer makes comeback in our state, all thanks to the efforts of conservationists from Nehru Zoological Park. They are working very scientifically to protect them. They are also improving genetic diversity. And these zoo authorities led a captive breeding program, and their reintroduction programs include continuous monitoring of the released population through cameras. And I'm admiring their extreme works on these mouse days. And really, I'm not acquainted with these creatures before, but when I have seen this video here, I was actually proud, and because of the state has regained these creatures. And I have also heard that our forest department authorities are also conserving many species of wildlife which are on the verge of extinction. I'm really proud, and I'm saluting their efforts. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Harini. So I think Lokpriya is there. So Lokpriya, you can come back as your network was not right, so we can have you once again. So Lokpriya, I don't think she is there. So this is all we have got as input in forms or by email. Is there anyone else who wants to speak, who wants to volunteer, who has not sent mail or have full forms?
Want to speak on this?
Okay, please state your name.
So, my name is Khushi Agarwal, and sorry for the inconvenience. I've just transferred it to my laptop, so the camera is not responding.
Okay. Yeah, Khushi, you can speak. No issue.
So it's only the voice that you might be able to hear.
Yeah, it's okay, Khushi. No issue. You can
Okay,
speak.
so can I start?
Yeah.
Okay. A very warm good evening to everyone. And I would like to start straight away as I've already given my introduction. So with whole kindness, when I saw this movie clip, I realized that this was a very great informative presentation that showed an example of how scientific approach and pre-planned technique of different scientists with a determination to restore the population of the animal called moisture could be done. These animals are those mammals who provide seeds for the large and small carnivorous animals. They are one of those creatures who help maintain the ecological stability of our earth. But due to the malpractices and greedy intentions of humans, these animals faced a lot of deterioration in their population, and they became one of the endangered species, which is a very shameful thing for humans too. As to revive them, it is very appreciated that Telangana Forest Department came forward to help and revive these Indian species. In the Nehru Zoological Park, which is situated in Hyderabad, these projects were undertaken, and this is all about that occurred in around 2010 through various forest and research departments like CSIR and CCMB. And there were a lot of challenges as well that was faced by the people taking care of these animals. For example, the continuous manpower supply and the hard work round the clock, doing the efficient animal husbandry, and a matter of fact that these animals are shy, so providing places for them to hide was also a major task that came up with the scientists. It also required a lot of hygiene and cleanliness to be maintained, and getting to know about the food habits was another difficulty. But again, all of the challenges, they emerged victorious and were successful in gaining the expected populations from 6 to almost 300, which is very appreciated. They tracked the progress and helped the creatures as far as medical terms are concerned. They gave them deworming tablets. They monitored them on daily basis. And with experienced veterinaries with scientific temperament, CSIR, CCMB, and Nehru Park stabilized the population with gradual step process, protection on differentiated zones and artificial shelter, early predicted zoo conditions. They surely deserve appreciation and the great work for the conveyance of message that they have passed on to all the audiences. And with this conclusion, I would like to say at last that animals are not a property, but they are the creation of the Almighty. They are also bound to have right to live life and see them bright. With this, I would like to give this opportunity to me, and with this hope that everyone would equally stabilize and contribute in the animal population. I would like to end my speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Khushi. That was wonderful. So now, after Khushi, anyone else who wants to speak upon this topic? I don't think anyone else is there. Priya has left. Okay. So I think then we are done with the day. Thank you to all the participants. So we will be individually meeting the participants, or all judges would have listened to you, and they will be reading and they will be discussing among themselves, and individually we will be mailing first, second and third prizes, whomsoever are getting those. So with this, our Wildlife Week celebrations end here. Again, thank you all for watching and participating in this. Thank you.